Don't you just love the WWE? I mean, we have pay-per-views like SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble, which have all become synonymous with WrestleMania season. They've happened. They are still a staple of the WWE to this very day. But the pay-per-views that I want to talk about are not. They were once a staple for a short time, but then, for one reason or another, they are no longer in existence today. Join me as I count down my top 3 WWE one-time only pay-per-views. And for the third pay-per-view, and for the third WWE pay-per-view, I am going all the way back to 2011. That pay-per-view is Capital Punishment. I believe that this event was only named Capital Punishment because of one reason. It was in Washington, D.C., and this pay-per-view, ironically enough, is the first time that got it was the end of his main event push, and he got off the ground as a heel. So, this pay-per-view was also synonymous with Mark Henry attacking the Big Show and World Strongest slamming him through the announce table. This pay-per-view was a good pay-per-view. However, nothing really significant happened to my recollection. So, why is Capital Punishment no longer on the pay-per-view schedule? Well, I don't know. Number 2, and Capital Punishment is also where, before I go on to number 2, Capital Punishment was also another, where we saw another Christian versus Randy Orton match. And it was pretty good. And the stage was pretty good as well. Okay. Number 2, I'm going all the way back. This pay-per-view took place not 10 years ago, but 8. Yes. Wait, no. 8 years ago. Yeah, 8 years ago. And I'm talking about WWE Fatal 4-Way, where, as you can tell by the name, every match was a Fatal 4-Way. We had a Divas Championship match, a World Title match, and a WWE title match that all took place in the in um in in Fatal, which the champion only has 25% chance of leaving with his title. However, who decided to name Fatal? I mean, we have matches. We have match named. Wait. We have WWE pay-per-views that are named after pay-per-views. But unfortunately, this was way before that. Before we had Money in the Bank and Hell in a Cell. WWE came out with Fatal 4-Way. And oh boy. 4-Way is a bad name. And not only that, but every title switched hands. The WWE Championship that was held by John Cena. Well, the WWE Championship match ended in chaos because the Nexus interfered. And in all the confusion, Sheamus was able to pick up the victory. And that Fatal 4-Way consisted of Cena, Sheamus, Punk, and Edge. Then we have a Fatal 4-Way to determine, and this is completely out of order, but we had a Fatal 4-Way to to decide. Well, we had a Fatal 4-Way for the Divas title. The Divas title Fatal 4-Way consisted of Eve, Maryse, Gail Kim, and Alicia Fox. And Alicia ended up winning. Now we have the World Championship match. The World Championship match consisted of Rey Mysterio, Jack Swagger, Big Show, and Big Show, Mysterio, Swagger, I actually have the Fatal 4-Way DVD. And it's right ah, there. Okay. It was Mysterio. It was Mysterio, Swagger, Show, and hold on, I'm gonna cheat. I can't remember the fourth man. Oh wait, hold on. I was wrong about the WWE Championship match. It was Cena, Edge, Orton, Sheamus. Then the SmackDown was Swagger, Big Show, Punk, Mysterio. And not every match on this pay-per-view was a Fatal 4-Way. I mean, I'm going to read some of the matches. Okay. Intercontinental Championship match. Kofi. Then there was Chris Jericho versus Evan Bourne. Then the United States, which was The Miz versus R-Truth. The Divas I already covered, and there was a 6-person mixed tag team match between the Hart Dynasty and the Usos. Here. That's what it is. Now, if you want to see the cover is a dead giveaway. What do I mean? Let me turn on the light so you guys can see the cover clearly. Now, keep in mind that the world champion was Swagger. The WWE was John Cena. And the Divas champion was Eve. So, you're thinking one of them had to retain. Well, no. And even before I popped my DVD in, I already knew who the winners were going to be. Because look at this. That's the cover. New Divas, New World, New WWE.
Alright, I got the Y.
So, yeah. As much as this was a sucky, as much as this was it wasn't a good pay-per-view concept, wasn't even a good name. But at least it helped but at least it helped with storyline progression. Now, on now I'm gonna go all the way to 1999. The pay-per-view I'm going to be talking about is St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Why does this pay-per-view not exist anymore? Well, it may, and this is only speculation on my part, but I think the reason why there is no St. Valentine's Day Massacre anymore is, well, one, it really wasn't a bad pay-per-view for its time, but it was pretty much it was a stacked card, but I guess something didn't click. I mean, this was the first, I believe this was the first match between Vince McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin inside a steel cage, where let's see, Vince won the, I believe Vince put his WrestleMania shot on the line for against Austin, and Austin completely annihilated Vinnie Mac in that cage. And St. Valentine's Day Massacre was also the debut of The Big Show. And there's one thing in the St. Valentine's Day pay-per-view that I think is funny even to this day. Ken Shamrock was facing Val Venus, and there was Ryan Shamrock. Ryan Shamrock, who was played, I believe, by Marlena. But anyway, Ken Shamrock does something. No, I believe Ryan does something to Ken, and Ken goes outside and says, "What are you doing?" Then he goes, "Slap me." So, those are my three. Oh, and number two, it may have not had enough pay-per-view buy rates. And number one, it was named after a real live event during Prohibition. You see, back during Prohibition, there was a guy that was named, oh, I don't know if you've heard of him, Al Capone. Well, Al Capone gangsters to another gangster's place, and I can't remember if they were gangsters or they were innocent people, but they shot all of them, and on Valentine's Day. So, yeah. Wrestling for fans, what are your thoughts on this? Did you like what? I'll be waiting to hear from you. I know you have to have something to say, man. But the reason why I didn't do a top 10 is because I couldn't think of 10. I can one time only pay. I even Googled it, really couldn't find anything, so I just decided to do 3 for WWE, 3 for WCW, 3 for ECW if I can find any, and maybe 1 for the Indies. I'm Hardcore Christopher. Keep it hardcore, everyone.